Welcome to Marvel Champions Podcast, a podcast about Marvel Champions the card game. I am your host, Scott, and with me as always, my co-host, Ryan.
Hello, my friend, and why don't we talk to one of our listeners?
Oh, did someone write in, Ryan?
Someone did.
Do I know this someone?
You sure do.
And who would that be, Ryan?
It is Solo Papa coming back at us.
Yeah, I recognize that name.
I know. Asking some questions as always, and we appreciate it every time. People can always write us and propose their questions at marvelchumpspod@gmail.com.
Close.
It is Marvel Champions
Pod
at
gmail.com.
gmail.com.
Good job, Ryan.
It was close.
Close enough.
But yeah, he asked a question. Well, he kind of explained a little things, and then he asked a question. So, what he is asking is, are there heroes that we or the listeners go back to when they really don't feel like playing the new ones? Like sometimes you just kind of just want to play instead of like figure out the new heroes or go through the deck building of new heroes, and you kind of always go back to the ones you just like and the decks you like and just play. So he gave an example of Leadership, Captain America, because he knows he'll have a good time with it.
Yeah. This is a question topic that I've seen some like traction gaining throughout the community. I think for some people, they've been in this mutant wave or this mutant trilogy for a little too long, like them as players. And maybe they really only connected with that first wave, those kind of core X-Men.
Mm-hmm.
And they just kind of filled mutant X-Men out. And they're kind of over it and they're ready for something new to get on.
So that brings up a question that I'm just going to put on hold until we talk about his particular question first. But I do want to circle back on what you just said.
Okay. So if we're going to talk about some heroes that just like, or like maybe concepts to do with older stuff or kind of like how to spice things up in the core box or something. Ooh, spicy. I think that's a cool thing about this game is you can take aspect cards, right? New aspect cards, as long as they're not like trait locked or something, and you can bring them back to an old character. And for me, I've seen a lot of people do a lot with Iron Man with this. Ingenuity, digging deep, really playing on some keywords that kind of had nothing before, and then now have some things that make him significantly better. Make his engine build faster and be more efficient, and you can really like turn up Iron Man. And there's other heroes too, but he's one that I think gained a lot. Same thing with someone like Thor or Hulk. They gained some pretty good basic cards from later heroes, and I think that's the nice thing about this game. Like, ooh, you know who this would really work with is this character, and I really like that character. And there's things like that that are, I think, always coming out, especially in the last cycle with like Angel. You know, he was the first big like aerial hero that had a bunch of aerial stuff. Well, heck, now I can take all these aerial cards and go back to these heroes that only had a handful of aerial anythings. So, something to think about.
Yeah, no, and I think it opens up some aspects for heroes that you traditionally weren't able to do. So, like, for example, you know, Justice is the thwart aspect, but there's some more thwart options within the other aspects that you may be able to take a hero that struggles with thwart, throw it in one of these other options, and still be fairly successful with thwarting kind of thing. So, but is there any particular hero for you that you kind of often go back to and play?
I was trying to look through some heroes real quick. You know, I personally default. People probably sick of hearing it, but like Black Widow, is fun.
I knew
She's
it.
got a
Knew it. Called
couple
it.
of new cards, a couple of newer cards in like the Jubilee deck that you can play with a little bit, I think. I'm trying to think of some other ones here. I'm trying to look through some of these and see. I don't know. You go ahead.
All right. That's tough because the way I play, I kind of enjoy the new heroes and trying to figure new things with them. It's like a puzzle for me because I do like deck building. Like for me, that's some of the fun parts of the game. So I tend to not worry about going back and being comfortable. I like trying to figure out the puzzle of the Iceman or Jubilee and how to make them fun. But I do have some heroes that I do like playing. Captain America is one of them just because it's Captain America. It's a super solid hero. It's just fun to play and be very successful with him. Another hero that I do like is She-Hulk. I will play her every so often just to see what new things I can do with her to make her better in ways that she struggles with. And also Hulk. I like going back to Hulk and trying to see if the new cards make him better. And I think there have been some cards that have come out that have really helped him and have made him more successful as a hero. Even though I know most people are not big fans of him, I think he still has some good aspects to him.
See, and I think I tend to gravitate, for some reason, I don't know why, back to the like heroes that I played through like the campaign.
Mm-hmm.
Like I tend to gravitate towards them, and I don't know if it's because I played them more and I feel more comfortable, and it doesn't seem like as much of a mental burden to try and figure it out because I know probably 90% of what they're wanted to do, and it's that new 10-20% of the new cards that I'm trying to figure out the puzzle.
Mm-hmm.
But I think there's a lot of value in kind of looking back at some heroes and trying to figure out like, ooh, how can I use this new card?
Yeah. I think one of my favorite heroes, Miss Marvel. She, because of the way she plays, she has a lot of opportunities with new cards and making them work in very fun ways, like doing a Miss Marvel aggression with, oh goodness, I forgot the main card. What's the aggression card upgrade to science resources?
Hone technique. That's what you're looking for.
Yes, hone technique. That, along with, now you have to help me on the other card.
Okay. Sound it out.
It's another aggression. No quarters.
Okay. No quarter.
No quarter. That's right. No quarter. That combined with hone technique plus her +2. Yeah, that's scary. She can deck out real quick and also draw a bunch of cards.
Yeah, I've seen you play that deck, and I think it's one of those where you can, especially like a event-heavy based hero.
Mm-hmm.
I think can usually do a little better.
Yep. So yeah, I think it's very common for people just to like the heroes that they've liked and just kind of stick with them. So
That's true too. There is an element of that, right? There's the who's my favorite hero, like not even like in Marvel Champions. It's who's my favorite comic book character hero, or who do I relate with as a story or something.
Yeah, I want to be Spider-Man. Boom.
Right.
Yeah.
I want to make Thor happen.
Yeah. I want to electrocute everybody.
Right. Yeah. You know, we played some games recently. We did one of the one-shots, and I was Ant-Man. And I hadn't played Ant-Man in a long time. And when Ant-Man came out, I found him a lot of fun to play, and I just haven't gone back to him. And it was like, oh, I remember why I liked playing Ant-Man.
Yeah.
It's a lot of fun.
Yeah, he's a good one that I tend not to go back to all the time because I feel like, for some reason, he's more your hero.
Yeah.
But he's a good one. I think it's just a fun one to play with.
Yeah. He plays well with how I like to play my play style. So
Yeah. So should I come back to my question that I have?
yeah, let's hear it.
I think this is a good opportunity. Scott, probably the most important question you will ever answer in your life. Do you think there is some Marvel Champions hero fatigue?
Oh, like there's too many?
There's too many. They just keep coming out.
See, that's a good question because there's that fine balance you have to find, right? Because you need to keep putting out product, which is the carrot to dangle in front of the consumer, the player, right?
Mm-hmm.
But if you do too much, then they maybe not find the value in what they already have.
Mm-hmm.
That's a tough one. I would say no. And I think they've finally gotten to a structure, and I've heard mixed things that this year's structure is different, and we're not going to see it like this. But I have a sneaky suspicion that they're kind of almost on a year cycle schedule now,
That sounds about right.
and you can extend longevity, but not be too long. It's that carrot's just that right distance to keep people engaged. But I can definitely see where if someone like Solo Papa is saying, it's been like 2-3 months and I haven't had a hero that I really like, or I don't like Jubilee, I don't like Iceman, I don't like Nightcrawler, and it's been 6, 7, 8 months, and the game kind of loses that appeal or that feel that I want to go play and I want to be that superhero. And I can definitely see where he's coming from, because when we had that real long hiatus from, I think it was the end of the first Mutant Wave to the second big box release, there was a long time, and I just felt like it was hard to like get a game going and put the effort into it. So
Yeah, I think this whole mutant wave has had some interesting up and downs. I think the release schedule was all over the place, which caused some kind of, I think, hero fatigue when you get not only a core box out with 2 new heroes, but then you also release 2 other heroes on top of it. It just kind of came too fast. And then not only that, but then they released, was it Wolverine and Storm at the same time, and then Gambit and Rogue at the same time?
yeah, and that wave had 2 additional heroes for the wave than a normal wave does.
It was just a whole lot. So I think some heroes kind of got lost in that shuffle. Like, I feel like I have not played Gambit and Rogue enough compared to Storm, Wolverine, Phoenix, and Cyclops.
Well, and then you throw in a scenario pack in the mix of that too.
Yeah. Which I like when they do the scenario packs, because I think they often bring a lot of freshness to the schedule, where it's always just like, oh, here's the next hero, but it's like, here's a scenario pack. Yay, a new enemy to fight. And not only that, but Mojo Mania in particular was extra cool because it had a mini campaign and 3 great villains.
Yeah, and I can see what you're saying, right? Because if I get the expansion box first, I play all 5 of those scenarios for the campaign, and I play through them, right? And then I'll play them as individual scenarios, and then I get a new hero, and then those are kind of like the fresh hot things. So I go back and play those 5 scenarios again, or some combination of them. And I don't know if you're getting stuck in the mind frame of, I need to play X-Men things because these are X-Men heroes. I need X-Men villains. And for some reason you're not, fighting Claw or fighting Ultron or fighting in space. So
Yeah. So yeah, I think there is a little bit of fatigue. I think overall people would say, no, they love the content, keep coming out. But I think deep down in most people, I think they're fatigued on getting characters that they really just don't care for.
Okay. Yeah,
So I
I can see
think
that.
like just talking about this most recent wave, we've got Cycle 8, basically. You have Iceman, Jubilee, Nightcrawler that's coming out very soon for us, and then Magneto that's coming out later this year. I think people were pumped about Iceman. I'm not sure how many people were pumped about Jubilee. I think people are pumped about Nightcrawler, and I think people are pumped about Magneto, though I think there's a large group that are more pumped about getting a beast. That's not
That's
happening, apparently.
not gonna happen. At least
Yeah.
now. Yeah.
But for me, it's like I think Jubilee as like the game, the hero is fine, but I'm just not excited to play her. So I kind of have to like go through her to get to ones that I want to play. And I think there are quite a few heroes that people, I mean, not every hero is going to land with someone, but I think there's just been quite a few that people are just kind of like, okay, I mean, I'll get it because I'm collecting everything. I've got a problem, not Scott. But, they're kind of just like, all right, let's get to the heroes that I want. Like, where's the Fantastic Four? Where's Daredevil? I think a lot of people are still just kind of like, where's the heroes that I like? And I think that's why the first wave of Mutant, where it was good, like a lot of people liked the Wolverine and stuff, but then it just kind of felt like it dragged on.
Ryan, I can quit anytime, okay? No, I'm with you. And we're 5 years into this game. So,
Yeah, I
Ryan,
mean,
you're bringing up some heavy topics here. This is, a
I,
lighthearted,
I,
fun podcast. What are we doing?
I don't know, man. Just talking about life. I mean, because this is the life for some. Not saying it's the life for me. Even though I have a podcast and talk about it all the time. But yeah, I think they've done. I like the schedule as it is now. Like you said, a year on a box plus its releases. I think that's pretty solid.
Yeah, it's tough. It's tough in some aspects, but then it's kind of right in others.
Yeah.
Like
Yeah.
there's some busy times of the year where it feels like, that one just came out and the new one's coming out, and then there's times where it's like, oh man, I gotta wait forever for this next one to come out.
Forever. Yeah.
Ever. Oh gosh, yeah. And I think, like you said, Ryan, Nightcrawler should be coming out. It may actually come out on the day this one releases. So yeah.
Ooh, I'll be playing that.
Well, I mean, I'll be playing that.
I mean, you'll be playing it. I will be like, yo, when you gonna invite me over?
All right. Well, I think we answered Solo Papa's question pretty well, and you went like way out in left field, but we got it back.
Yeah, I just asking the questions of the people's hearts. All right.
Okay. Yeah, but yeah, go back and play some of those fun heroes, because I think the other thing is that hopefully can like re-spark the why you like this game.
Yes.
Oh man, I love Captain America and punching Red Skull in the face. Yeah. So.
Yeah. It's always fun to go back and take some of the newer modular sets and newer cards and pin them against each other and see what fun things and shenanigans you can get into. And that's why I think actually the weekly one shots are pretty good, because it kind of helps spark some of that creativity and going back in your collection.
Right. Because that's the other thing. I feel like sometimes you can get stuck in the recommended. You get stuck in recommended land.
Yes.
And
Yes, you
that
can.
kind of allow you to spice it up a little bit, switch out some of those modular sets, and just play something wacky, even if it's not thematic. All right, Ryan. I think we shift some gears here.
All right.
And we have recently talking about Nightcrawler. There's been some spoilers that were put out.
Oh.
I don't think we spent too much time on them, but I think Nightcrawler's looking to be pretty cool.
Yes, I would agree. I think he's got some cool things going for him.
All right, let me see. All right, I'm gonna let you say the Spanish one. Okay.
The podcast?
Yes, because you're so good at things. So there's
Okay.
been 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 hero cards and 2 of the Nemesis set revealed. Do you have a preference on ones you want to talk about?
I think there's only one that I really want to talk about.
Okay.
One's a reprint, I believe, so.
I think you are wrong. These are all new cards.
Oh, they are?
Yep.
Okay, I thought one was a reprint.
Yeah, but you're wrong.
Okay, thanks.
There's a similar card, but it's new.
Okay.
Okay, what we got
So,
here?
so am I going first?
Yeah. Which one do
Okay.
you like? Here, you say the one you like, and I'll try and make sure the credits due where credits due.
Okay. One that I really like is "Come Get Me, Bub."
Okay, that one I think was Phil in Theory. I think he was revealed that one. So,
All right. Well, good for him.
yep. And Day
Um,
Tripper, which we'll talk about next. But
yes.
those were his 2 cards. Okay, come at me, bub.
Come at Me, Bub. I really like it. It's got the hero action, tactic, event. 0 cost is what I like a lot about it. But you discard until you get a minion, or discard from the encounter deck until you get a minion. Put that minion in play, engaged with you, and then you heal 3 damage from your identity and give your identity a tough status card. That's awesome. I love that.
So, like, right off the bat, that makes me think of like Thor.
Yes.
Like being able to heal, tough, and draw 2 cards because hopefully you're getting the minion for 0 cost. That is insanity.
I love that. I think that's going to open up some great possibilities for some heroes, especially ones that can handle minions. Like you said, Thor. I think that'd be great. But yeah, getting healed and that tough status, that's love it.
That's crazy. Cost curve on that is insane because some minions. Well, I guess it's the randomness of the minion is the potential cost built into it, right?
Yes.
I mean, you could be playing against like a Green Goblin and get like Monster or whatever the other big one is.
Yeah. You could
Bad.
get
Or
one that's just absolutely terrible.
Quick Strikes or Teamworks or something weird like that. Sure.
Yeah. I mean, there's always that risk, but if you're a hero that you're wanting to get minions out, this is great.
Right.
I think it's better than the what was the
aggression it was
one?
in Iceman's one where you discard until you get a thing and things happen. Yeah. I agree with you. This one's way better. All right. Well, you're trying to figure that out. I'm gonna talk about Day Tripper.
Yeah, go for it.
2 cost ally, 2/2/2, which is awesome for 2 cost. I think her value is what she does though. So response after Day Tripper enters play, search your deck and discard pile for a copy of Bamf and attach it to an enemy. Deal 1 damage to each enemy with a copy of Bamf attached. So hopefully you've got multiple copies, deal some extra free damage. She can attack or thwart for 2, and then hopefully take a punch to the face.
That would be really nice. Now, I'm not sure how many copies of BAMP there are, but if it's anything like, say, Iceman, where there's like a lot of copies of them, I guess they don't set
3.
aside.
No, it's part of your deck, and I
So
think
there's no more than 3.
Said there's 3 in the article or figured out by the card numbers, maybe. But I think it's 3.
Either way, it's not going to be more than 3 because it's part of your deck. So
right. And you have other ways to get them out, but this also gets one out for you. So
yeah, I like it for 2 cost. Getting that out, which seems like it's important for him, and dealing damage, that's a win for me.
Yeah, and I think the other nice thing is it's search your deck and discard pile. So I know he's got like one way to search his deck, and then one way he searches his discard. So wherever they might be trapped.
Yeah, you're probably always taking that from your discard, I'm guessing.
Sure. All right.
So, yeah, that sounds good.
Yeah, 2 cost signature allies are always good. We'll see if she's in the running for the roadie of 2024 or not.
Ooh.
And we'll find out. No spoilers, Ryan. All right. critical encounters, since they are the villains of the podcast world, they got to spoil Azazel, his nemesis for Nightcrawler, and a
Ooh,
treachery. Looks pretty fun. Talking about minions that come out and can do bad things. He's a 2 scheme, 3 attack, 3 health, quick strike. Azazel cannot have attachments, upgrade attached. Sorry. He has a boost, star, deal Azazel to the Kurt Wagner player as a face down encounter card.
fun.
So even if this was your boost, it would go get in front of the Nightcrawler player if you play multiplayer, which is fun.
Yeah.
And then he would quick strike. And then you can't put Bamfed on him, so.
Yeah, I really like this. I mean, he's gonna be terrible to face, but I really like the quick strike and the can't have attachments. I think those little things make it feel like he's warping,
Right.
Other than like him going to different players, kind of thing.
Yeah, I like it. And I feel like the other thing is when we talk about Brimstone Strike, is they really play like the thematicness of his like bamfing everywhere and being anywhere and nowhere at the same time. So Brimstone Strike says, when revealed in Alter Ego, find Azazel and reveal him. He schemes. And I think the Critical Encounters guys reference that as quick scheme. they call this something. It's like the scheming version of quick strike. So,
Quick strike scheming version.
Yeah, because there is no like quick strike for scheme. Like when they come out, they don't just like activate. So this is his way of doing that. So you go find him, you reveal him. So even if you killed him, now he's going to come back out and poof or bamf back into the game, which I like. And then if he's a hero, you find him and then reveal him, and then he quick strikes you, and the process starts all over again, which is cool. So
nice.
Yeah, gonna be kind of bad on that one. Yeah, don't get Azazel out because yikes,
he's gonna do some damage to you.
Yeah,
and it's pretty hefty damage. 3
attack.
That's pretty strong.
And he has like what on the face looks like lower health with 3, but I think he's gonna hang out longer, or he's gonna keep coming out at like really bad times, to where he can actually like do that quick strike. You can't really stop that. So
I think we should call the quick strike for scheming quick planning.
Quick planning. Okay.
Quick planning. I don't know. All right. Next ones. I'll do the. You know what? I want to do a Kurt Wagner cards because I haven't done any yet.
Okay. Sorry, I've been stealing them all. All right. So, tell me which one you want, because we'll have to split them up so we give credit.
His tail and his cutlass.
Okay, so those are 2 different, so you can only do one. You tell me which one, I'll tell you the other card you'll have to do.
Goodness. Give me his cutlass.
Okay, so you will do cutlass and riposte. And
Who's
that was from Nelson All Over Cards.
Good on you, mate. Okay. Yeah, so we get to see his swords, which these are, so it looks like instead of 2 cards that are going to be his cutlasses, it's 1 card that's his cutlasses, because it counts as 2 restricted cards. It's a 2-cost upgrade. And Nightcrawler gets a +1 attack, +1 defense, and gains retaliate. That's pretty powerful.
That's crazy for 2-cost.
Yeah. It really nails into that he's more of that defensive type player. I mean, not only does he have 3 defense, but now he's got 4 with the swords, +1 attack, and he retaliates. Like, yowks.
Yeah.
It's very strong.
And he doesn't exhaust if it's a Bamf attachment. So.
Oh, yeah, that's right. So he's just hopping around, retaliating everybody if you can get him to defend multiple times.
Yeah. All right. What about the event, Ryan? What do you think about it?
Riposte. It is a defense hero interrupt. When your hero defends against an enemy, or gets an attack, I should say, it gets +2 defense for that attack. If you take no damage from that attack, deal 3 damage to the attacking enemy. It's a 1-cost event. And I think it is okay. I feel like there's a lot of defensive cards that are just like this, and I don't play them all the time. Sometimes I'll play them, sometimes I won't.
It's like you have to figure out which one of those different styles is going to work the best for that hero, right?
Mm-hmm.
Because, some need that additional thwart, some need the additional attack, some need the additional ready. So I think you have to figure out what's most important. Now, I was thinking, this would work with like a Miss Marvel, right? Because you could do that. You could, what's her, it's like embiggen or something. You could add a couple to it. So it'd be 5.
It is not an attack, though, so you can't.
Oh, I see what you're saying.
But
Sorry, the word attack appears so much that I thought it was an attack, but you are right. It's not an attack.
But you could, I think in theory, you could
return it
back
and it would still be in the same defensive window, right? And you could wiggle room.
I think you might be able to
make yourself defend to activate the defense portion of it.
Yeah, there's some timing stuff with that, but I think you can. It's an interrupt, so I think you have to do the whole card before you can move on. Basically, what I'm saying is you can't. Well,
yeah, you just play it in sequence. You do wiggle room first, which makes you a defending against the attack, which then opens the window for the interrupt, because when your hero defends, then you would get an additional 2. Then you would resolve it, take no damage, and then deal the 3 damage.
Trying to think of time in here.
You would increase
her ability is a response. So would you have to finish the entire card?
The wiggle room is a response?
The wiggle room is an interrupt.
Now, you're talking about her ability, which
I think trying to pull it back.
Cut it out. Yeah, I'm not too worried about it.
I mean, if you did wiggle room, yes, you could do wiggle room and that.
Right.
Riposte. Yeah.
Yeah. I think it's okay. I think you need that 1 Nerves of Steel to make it 0 cost, to make it better.
Yeah.
But I think it has its place, right?
Yeah, I mean, I don't think it's a bad card, but I guess the way I play defense, I probably won't be using it.
Yeah, I know what you mean. You probably won't see it. All right. 2 left. La Mano de Thanos. I don't know. I probably butchered that.
La Mano de Thanos. Yeah, that sounds pretty close.
Sure, we'll go with it. Two gringos on the podcast. Ooh.
I mean, I took 2 years of high school.
2 years of high school Spanish 20 years ago.
2 semesters in college, yeah.
You took Spanish in college?
I had to. You have to take a foreign language in college, don't you?
No, you don't. Then you were in the wrong college.
Well, I did that community college, so.
Oh, that was like 5th year high school, right?
Oh, did I know?
No, I went there too.
Yeah.
Harvard by the highway.
Hey, I'm a grad from it. Right.
Yeah, I didn't graduate.
Hey, did you know, a fun fact, that I actually was oh man, what year was it? Spring 2014 archery champion.
Do you put that on your resume, Ryan?
With the recurve bow? Yeah,
okay.
Well, heck yeah, I got a t-shirt, man.
Oh, dang. I'm going to start calling you Hawkeye over here.
Well, I don't know what it was, but that day I was killing it. I was Hawkeye. You could throw stuff in the air and I was shooting it down. And, an arrow lands in someone's foot or knee, whatever.
Oh.
I don't know. I was doing really good. Though I don't think my competition was as good as...
Okay, the truth comes out. Okay.
I was the only contestant.
First place out of 1. Participation trophy, Ryan. Good job.
All right. Well, let's move on to those last 2 cards.
So you must have been using your prehensile tail.
Prehensile tail? I can't read.
Yeah, it's cool. So it is a 1-cost upgrade, superpower. You can control 1 additional upgrade that has the restricted keyword. So
ooh, that's going to help
you can
those,
hold another
those
sword in
swords.
your hand. Yep.
That's right.
And it is also his resource generator. So resource exhausts prehensile tail, generate a wild resource for an event. And it's nice that it's not just a identity specific event. It's any event. So
Yep.
that riposte can be cheaper. So
Yeah, that's true.
and he can hold one additional restricted since he's had 2 cutlasses in his hand. So that's nice.
For 1 cost, I think that is a very good card.
Yeah. And it's looking like more and more that Def Focus is definitely auto include for Nightcrawler.
Yeah, because that has superpower, and then does a bunch of his other cards have
Ton
superpower?
of his events, yeah.
Yes, they do. Yes,
So he's going to be fun because he'll be a very low cost curve.
Yeah.
All right. Last card. A protection ally, North Star. 3 cost, 1 thwart, 2 attack, 3 health, X-Man. Interrupt. When a boost card is turned face up during an attack, deal 1 damage to North Star. Cancel all boost icons on that card. Now, I think he would be good to play with an Iceman, potentially.
Okay, I can see that with that. I was gonna say that I don't really like him, but that persuaded me a little bit.
Yeah. I mean,
he's situational.
The nice thing is it's an interrupt, so right, you get to see it first, then you can decide. Because it's turned face up during an attack.
That's
It's
true.
not one of those where you have to like make the decision beforehand, and then you like negate one. You're like, ooh, yeah.
I mean, yeah, taking 1 damage to potentially prevent, say, 3 damage or 3 additional attack against your hero that's pretty good.
Yeah, and it's I like the 3. It tempts me to play it than it does if it was 4.
Oh man, if it was 4, I'd say this is a terrible card.
Right. Yep.
But that, I think that's the trouble I have with sometimes allies is if this is an ally, so it has health and it has an attack and thwart. Are you ever going to use the attack or thwart with this card?
Maybe if you're super desperate, probably not the thwart, but maybe the attack.
So it just becomes a glorified upgrade or support, basically.
And that's what most protection allies are.
Yeah,
really.
That's what I feel like.
Because like you play one to give somebody a tough, or you play one that gets to negate 1 damage when they defend or something.
But I mean, if let's say you used all 3 of those healths and you block at least a 3, and you blocked, say, 2/2 boost, that's 7 damage that North Star prevents. That's pretty good.
Right.
All right, man. I might be turned around a little bit on this guy, but I don't know.
Okay. Awesome. Spoilers. I doubt we'll get any more. Like I said, this episode will probably come out on the day Nightcrawler comes out, so we'll have everything spoiled, Ryan.
That's true. This should be fun. I'm excited for Nightcrawler. Our review will be coming out not right after this episode, but early signs is pointing to a strong hero.
Yeah.
Based off these new cards and the previous ones.
Maybe turn some of those aggression justice players over to some protection. So
that's true.
Who knows?
I'm a big fan of protection, so let's see what it can do.
All right. Let us know from our little chat with Chumps section on one of your favorite heroes you like to go back to. We want to hear that, or tell us which Nightcrawler card you are most looking forward to. You can do that by reaching out to us at marvelchampionspod@gmail.com. We would love to hear you. Or I think you can just shout out on our Facebook page. Put a question there. We would love to see that. And as always, if you want to go from a chump to a champ, listen to the Marvel Champions podcast. Thanks.
And take care.